superb.
Welcome to the Real Shit Talker. It's your boy, the motherfucking dragon. That song's still coming through the mic. And across from me, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm still small as hell. Gentleman Jack. Of course, you know, this is the huge, but something's different today. We have
a guest today. State your own name, gangster.
I was gonna go racist for a second, but can't do that.
Nah, it's Millie who call me Marquis, or it's Marquis you call me Millie.
You like going by Millie?
Yeah,
I call you Millie. It's not a problem.
Millie Vanilli.
No Millie Vanilli over
Why
here.
not, bro?
Ain't no lip syncing on this
You
mic.
should have known that was gonna happen when you chose
For
the name
real.
Millie. That Millie Vanilli was the first thing people was gonna think about.
I saw something on Twitter the other day. People don't even know who Millie Vanilli is.
Closer to the mic.
Oh, people don't even know who Millie Vanilli is no more.
Really?
Yeah, because Nicki Minaj just said something about Millie Vanilli. I think she was taking a jab at Cardi B or something like that, and people were like, "Who the fuck is Millie Vanilli?" Like,
Yeah, I think you have to be like
From the-
80s and 90s
yo.
baby to really
sad,
know.
yo. People like,
Yo, so let them know who you are, man. Tell
yeah,
them
yeah.
exactly what you do and how we came about.
Yeah, so I'm a producer, I'm an artist. I'm in the works of licensing my own label, you know, signing my own talent, you know, managing and networking for my own private independent label. So right now I'm in the midst of debuting my first album ever constructed, obviously composed. Most of it's written by me. Everything's written by me. It's produced by my older brother.
Mm-hmm.
He's from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. So
Shout him out.
yeah, shout out Dre. Thanks Dre for the, all the support, all the vibes is great. He got an album out too. You can get that on Spotify, iTunes. Type in Swoozy Dre, like Swoozy. I don't know. SWOOZY. Dre DRE, and yeah, he got two albums out already, and hopefully I can add to the collection of timeless pieces.
Yeah, turn it into like a family business.
Yeah, yo, that's the only person I trust. Obviously, chalking it up. Like it's hard to have a strong foundation when you come to doing business with anybody, whether it's family, friends, even your family to sit there and rob you blind. But nah, me and my brother real tight knit.
Are you really pumping up your arms right
yeah.
now?
It's tight, bro. I can't do
There's
it.
too many dudes in the room for you to be all.
You're covering up. No, you're used to the.
It's a little cold, man. I don't need to show off. Everybody know I'm jacked like a motherfucker.
That's why you wear nice shit, bro.
Nice.
Nah, you a fighter, ain't you?
Everybody know what time it is.
He's ready. He's like, yeah, let's talk, man.
Who do you think got him prepared for these fights?
Oh,
Go ahead,
go.
man.
I'm leaving it alone.
Go ahead,
man.
lie.
So,
Go ahead,
you have any a little bit later? What be like? Where do you get your inspiration from?
To be honest, for
Come a little bit closer to the mic.
oh, as far as like my inspiration for music,
Yeah.
it's always been honestly, I'm real passionate about music to begin with, and then just kind of watching how the game evolves. It's certain things that it's kind of stick with you. I always remember the first things that inspired me to rap, the first artist that I always listened to. So like I don't want to conform to like the new sound, you know what I mean? So it's always just kind of like, innovating with it. Like, all right, this we're obviously gonna go to another level. People are gonna grow. We're gonna get out of the roots of where we came from. But I always loved the raw thought of why music was constructed. Basketball is my favorite sport. Yes and that, or hip hop. You know what I mean? Just something mad simple, laid back. Not nowadays. It's like, drugs this, drug that, cars this, cars that. Like your baby mother this, your baby mother that. Like it's just the same things. I mean, what inspires me is mostly just the message is a message in my music. It's a message in a lot of the artists that I associate with and feature with. They all are very conscious, especially my brother. He's like probably one of the most influential artists that I've. And I'm not being biased. I know it's my brother, but you hear his music, you hear in his voice, like he's definitely.
Dude, it's okay to be biased with your brother. My brother's an artist himself.
Yeah, I know Benji.
Yeah, you know Benji.
Yeah,
okay, yeah. So like, listen, to me, honestly, I'd be like, listen, that's the best artist I've heard in my life. Straight up. So anybody asks me, they're like, yo, who's your favorite? I'm like, actually, Benji City is my favorite artist ever. But like, when you first started this whole music journey, like, where were you?
Something that I was when I first started, I was 12 years old, and my father's a producer. So I guess it was that summer. I went down to Baltimore, and I was with my older brother. It was both of us, and he sat us both down, and it's like, yo, showed us a bunch of different equipment, from Cakewalk to like Sony to Sonar to like Fruity Loops, which was Fruity Loops 4 at the time. Yeah. And me and my brother was just sitting there clicking away. And then when I came back to Jersey, it was just something like, I lived in Passaic at the time too, so I came back to Jersey. I was running to my friends like, yo, come over, let's make beats. So everybody come through and just freestyling. Yo, Keys make a beat. Keys DJ son. I'll be blending shit, you know what I mean? All different types of stuff. And then it came from a hobby to like my career, my choice of like what I pursue.
You know what I realized? Most of our graduating class was into music.
Yeah.
Like way too many people. Like
you guys went to school.
Yeah, we graduated same year,
yeah.
09. Almost everybody I know was into music. Everyone's houses I went to, they either had snare drums, they had DJing equipment, they had producing equipment. I was like,
it's funny because I never did nothing music related in the high school other than I performed at my prom. Like me and like two of my friends, we performed at prom, which was fire. I don't know if you remember that.
Remember, I was also like, okay, this is how we were. Right? He was more with the basketball crew, with those type of friends. I was more of the outcast people who apparently nowadays.
Man, I was with everybody. I don't know why everybody always try to pinch me into this little corner. I was cool with everybody. Like,
be cool with everybody, yeah. But I'm saying like people we hung out with most during the school day. Right?
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I could say everybody had no problems, but so we were in like this one corner, like just laughing our asses off, making fun of people, things like that. So we on stage we really weren't paying attention to much of that.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was like that was the only thing I ever did. Like I never did chorus. I never did nothing.
You remember I don't want to say her name, but a girl got in trouble for supposedly sneaking in drugs at our prom.
I didn't know what they ain't sneaking into me shit.
I don't know what y'all told. That was every day in Patterson.
Right? They know it's prom.
Drugs. That was the bathroom. You just gotta catch with the bathroom.
No, it was at prom. So it's like she got pulled over. Like cops came. And it was just like this, like one or two girls that they literally took their back.
What kind of drugs?
We talk about the green stuff.
We're talking about
the white stuff. I think it was E or
something
really like that. I don't know.
Yeah, she was trying to get that. What's that movie with fucking 21 Jump Street? She had no fucking snacks in there.
Oh, it's crazy.
Not gonna lie, bringing that up, I do want to try that. If 21 Jump Street drug was real, I'd try it out.
I don't want no sauce. At least once. I don't want no smoke with that. Yeah, I feel like it's a bad day for me. If you could think about the one artist, like I'm trying to get you to say an artist's name. If you could think about one artist that was kind of like, I need to do that. Like,
I guess his most influential.
Yeah, most influential type of artist.
I don't want to sound cliche, but it was definitely Eminem, yo. It was definitely Eminem.
You like the angry rap?
It wasn't even an angry rap.
I love the angry rap.
I love it, but it was just like the lyricism, like his wordplay, like his comfortability. Like even when you hear him now, it's like he has so much personality to his character, and it's just so many spectrums. He's so comical. Like he can make something so like pain be funny, you know what I mean? And like that's something like you watch his story go from like 8 Mile to like, to being who he is now, Shady Aftermath, like a millionaire, like a multi-millionaire at this point,
Do you think Eminem do you think old Eminem versus new Eminem, who you think will win? If it was a battle.
The new Eminem, because he got better. I don't know what people sit here and say, like, how he got worse.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, like, me personally, I don't really, like, feed into any of it. But, like, I hear people say that he fell off, but I don't think so.
It's just at this point, you're not going to be rapping about needing a car, needing a house, needing money when you got money. Like, you got a Bentley.
But I feel like the
you're not hungry.
New age Eminem is more reactive than compared to going out and attacking like old Eminem. Think about it. Like how long did it take him to finally respond to everybody? Right, it was a surprise. Love the album, by the way.
I think I don't know personally. I've never been in that field, but like I feel like when you get to a certain level, you're not supposed to respond to everybody because everybody's coming for you regardless.
But that's why I feel like the hunger is not there as much.
Of course not. You got Bentleys in the goddamn.
Yeah.
You just said it. I got a Bentley in the garage.
He don't got nothing to worry about.
But that's why I feel like older Eminem.
He don't gotta drop another album. Like you really don't have to drop. And that's the thing. A lot of artists are in here like, yo, I gotta make it. I gotta make it. Once you make it, it's like, like you know, like Kodak Black. Perfect example, yo. He was like, I don't know why everybody watching me. Like, like, bro, you're an entertainer. You making money to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
You don't have a problem when people put money in your pocket, but when people criticize you for something bad, it's like, oh, I don't want to do this no more. Like, no, you gotta be you got an image to uphold. Like, you can't shy away from the image when it's not working for you. You know.
Well, that's why I kind of like. This is gonna sound shitty as fuck. This is why I kind of like the personality of Tekashi 6ix9ine. His personality is fucking amazing. like he prefers to be the troll. He wants to be hated. He wants the views. He wants everything on him. But at least he doesn't go with the conform back to what everyone wants him to be. He's not going to be the role model that I guess society would want him to be. But then he is also out there in Chicago giving out $100 bills to kids, to their grandparents.
At the same time, yo, he make you want to slap somebody, yo. His music make you want to punch a baby.
Put it up in that Rari.
Like, yo,
the baby got to get punched. The baby got to get punched.
You ever listen to Tekashi, like, right before you go to the gym, you pumping weight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so hilarious. But I would like to ask, like, because I'm off and on when it comes down to music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, 1 minute I'm really big on. Me personally, I like all genres.
Yeah.
I think honestly, probably the one genre I don't really like is bluegrass. Like bluegrass and like
that's like piano shit.
No, that's when they play in the banjo.
Oh, hell no.
But I'm into, like, it's so weird. I used to hate country,
that's my shit, bro.
but I fucking with country now.
Yeah,
like,
big green tractor.
No, but I can't get down with bluegrass. I can't get down with none of that. But
the jug,
that and
like the Jackass theme song shit.
that and the is it heavy metal when you can't even understand Screamo.
Yeah.
I can't deal with that shit either. I can deal with metal.
I don't know. I might get into Screamo if all fails for me. I might just become a Screamo artist. I might just have to do it.
Okay.
Or either that or dancing. I'm just being there swinging my arms and shit. Like.
Why not? Sometimes it feels like you can.
Nah, I ain't trying to be around you doing that shit. They gonna get one of them fucking roundhouse kickers.
You know, it's so funny. So you guys were saying how there was like a basketball crew and there was the Misfits.
Yeah.
I used to hang out with, like, I was kind of like cool with everybody, but I was on some like rock and hip hop mashup type of shit.
Oh,
like it was weird.
You were all about the Linkin Park
It was
mashup.
Yeah. I was with that heavy. You don't even know. So
he's like, nah, bro. You
know. I was with that shit heavy. But I get into these points where I kind of like. Music just becomes like, all right, what the hell are we listening to? This shit is ass. Like, so is there any like genre music, like when everything just sounds the same or jumbled up together that you could find yourself going back to? Because me personally, I find myself going back to like R&B.
Yeah,
like I go back to
R&B
like,
is a dead.
I go back to
genre.
like the '90s R&B songs. Like,
I got a freestyle recently. I don't know why.
Freestyle. So
like '80s, '90s.
Oh yeah, we was in the car that night.
Yeah,
he was bumping, yo.
Bro, that and also I've
you.
also been recently on like an emo kick. So I'm going back to my like 12, 13 all time low. Good Charlotte, My Chemical Romance. I don't know why. I'm just going back to.
You know, I know so much about that style of music, and people will be like, "Yo, what you know about this shit? Like, what you know about Fall Out Boy? What you know about Green? What's that? Green Day. Fucking. I know a lot of different bands, but yeah, R&B is something that like.
How do you feel when people make it seem like hip hop artists has to be in this one box, like the one genre? They need to only know this area and not know the other. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it sucks. I mean, I'm real competitive. That's why like I don't listen to a lot of other artists because not out of like
I hear that
like hey just because like I'm so consistently thinking of making a new sound, and especially in the time where I'm at right now, bringing my first project to light.
Right.
I don't want certain influences. You know. I don't.
So wait, what do you think about like the new age 60 beats per minute? Because like everybody's doing that.
Yeah,
now.
and it's all that. Like when I first started to do music, I started to read and like educate myself on like the tricks to it, the like tricks like the like different techniques and stuff like different chord signatures. Like you hear a certain type of song and you wonder why you feel a type of way, you know. And that's why I tell people at the end of the day, like a lot of producers, don't kill me, but a lot of producers are not separating themselves from each other. They're using the same pattern. You know what I mean? The trap, everything sounds the same. It's the same.
Yeah. A lot of I'll say it, shit. I'm not in the game. A lot of producers do sound like they're using the same.
I mean, this creativity, you know, like, you know,
I don't find it's right for them for producers all to be kind of on this using the same samples and over and over. Because,
and then it makes it easier for the DJ.
Purposely, this is just for what I've seen. This is because, of course, my brother. And I don't think a lot of producers forget what artists have to do to get into that booth. Yeah. And I don't think it's fair for them to give them half-ass.
Well, you know what it is?
Yeah, my fault. Here we go.
I don't like that they give them half-ass attention when someone's out there, I don't know, hustling just to get into the booth. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of producers need to be like, there needs to be a light on these lazy-ass ones.
But you know what it is, too, with that? It makes it, with all of this, like if you have the 60 beats per minute, it makes it easier for everyone else as well. You throw a YouTube video real quick and put a beat on, and all of a sudden you're 60 beats per minute, and you grow big. Going back with Tekashi, he doesn't have one studio album out, but he's 10 for 10 on the Billboard.
Yeah, but that's even like
I said,
fucking Treyway.
But
you know the vibes,
right? but before that, would he have made it? Do you think would he have been able to push and grind to get that studio album out, or to even be on the billboards before the 60 beats per minute?
Maybe.
What do you mean in the sense like the tempo of the song?
Yeah,
and
like,
all the
because
same?
his like this is my thing. Like today's music, I'm not gonna bag on it because I am a fan of some of it, but it's just always the same thing. You can trick like 5 random songs, put them all together, and put it all laid on top of one another, and look at its bass beat and its metronome. They're all the same.
Right.
You're like, what are we doing now?
And that's like, I mean, that's with anything. Like you said, the freestyle era, all the freestyle, huh? The freestyle era, like a lot of the freestyle beats were all the same thing. They all had the same. It's all the same tempo.
That's what I was gonna bring up. Yeah. Because are we falling into is hip hop falling into a freestyle type of beats? Like, are we gonna start rhyming on? Because that's what it sounds like. Don't get me wrong, I like it. Yeah. I like it in certain times, but then the content. Yeah, the content isn't living up to. It feels like we're more listening to just the beat.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You brought up how we're going back to freestyle with the beat. After freestyle, they had the whole DJ era, scratching and everything.
Break beats and all that.
Can we do that now?
No,
every song and now
it's
DJs don't even scratch no more.
Oh yeah, they don't.
Now it's all making a beat on EDM type of.
Yeah. But let's bring back those scratches, bro. Bring back vinyl.
There's some people who are really.
Well, recently on my Facebook, bro, I got that new Facebook crush. This chick who was scratching, bringing it back to the 90s music. I was like,
you know my crush, right?
Some
thick girl, yo. I see some. It was some posts like it's getting cold. It's getting cold outside. You need a thick woman, yo. I seen it. I was like. I reposted and I can't woke up this morning. I was like, damn, yo, she was like, she looking.
For real.
That kind of looked like
you
the
woke
season.
up a little chilly, right? You had a big blanket.
I got family. I'm good.
He's like, yo, trying
to set me up.
We'll talk about it later.
Nah, that's the thing though. Yeah, like even that, like I'm real old fashioned, man. Like I'm very conscious of like, like the message I want to send with my music. So it's like you hear a lot of stuff like Cardi B, perfect example. Like I like her, she's talented, but like her content, the things she talks about, like I could fucking baby daddy, like you got young women thinking that this is what we're gonna idolize as the future of a female artist. Like, kidding me?
Yeah, but whose fault is that we allow that to be the standard of hip hop?
But it's not. I wouldn't say it's our fault. I mean, it's just I feel like it's the agenda, the way that the way they feed us. They feed us everything. Like, we gotta watch Halloween. It's Halloween time. Halloween new movie coming out. All right, after Halloween, then y'all better get ready for Thanksgiving. Like, we're in a big schedule, and that's how the marketing, the media, everything is like with the tools we have now. It's a standard procedure for everything, from making beats, for selling beats, for selling anything. So like we're all just going through the motions. It's like we're brainwashed to do something, but yet we're not growing. Like our culture, we're like it's being appropriate, like whatever that word is.
Culture appropriation.
Yeah, it's being like we don't even have touch to fall back. Like the drums, like where our instruments come from, or why, how did this genre, reach to where it's at.
I'd like, you know what I've been getting into? Afrobeat.
Oh yeah.
There's something new in there.
That's like house, right? Like
it's almost, but it's more
like trance.
Yeah, it's kind of like, but it kind of brings you back to like the old school kind of like drum beats and everything like that. So it's there's something new in there. I feel like that's kind of what we might be heading that way.
Yeah.
Kind of been in with that with the ayahuasca music. Those trance music. The shaman music,
trance
bro.
Be funny as hell, yo.
I listened to trance music before. I don't know.
Helps you go on a trip, bro. Meditating, you do.
I feel like trance people. Anybody who listens to trance is probably damn. They're gonna be a serial killer eventually, yo.
I gotta take that off my playlist.
Yeah. Nah, because people who bump your trance, they just be so.
Yeah, who bumps trance?
They just be don't like you. You'll be around somebody and they'll just be like what's up? Nothing. Doom. And then they wait for that drop, and it's like a trance song would be like 30 minutes, yo. Like, you realize it'd be like
they just messing with your head, yo.
It never stops, bro. That shit is nonstop.
Watching Shapes dance is hilarious.
Well, you believe in like the alpha, beta, and delta wave thing?
Yeah, it's true. Scientifically proven.
I've been reading up on it a lot more.
Okay.
And then I listened to this alpha wave thing.
Okay.
There's something there, B.
Yeah, it makes sure the alpha brain waves that you have, it activates them, and you feel like, you know what, you're ready to go. Your mind's firing. This is why with alpha brain, when we used to take it a lot,
right,
it would help. It helped you do it, so it's like your brain is functioning on a higher RPMs. This is why I kind of listen to music like that.
I gotta figure out like what's the best time of day to do something like that.
Not when you're going to sleep, because that will wake you up.
No, I think they have like a delta wave for sleep, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Or gamma.
See, I'm supposed to be the musician here. Y'all telling me about it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When it comes to like music, like that's not really my forte. But when it comes to like psychological to help you out a little bit with that,
the mechanics.
I love it. I love it. So like little things, like you're saying, when you listen to certain music, it gets you speak.
The
like,
research behind it.
So for me, it's like if I can get my mind to function a little bit better. This is why I was always telling myself in high school too. I was like, it's not my time is not high school. My time is after high school. I graduated now. I'm able to do all my research. I'm able to do everything I need. I'm not completely conforming to what school was teaching us to do, and I'm now my own individual person. I'm like, I got this. Like I can do what I need. I can find out that in my case, I didn't touch cannabis till I was 21. Like in high school, I didn't touch it. I did my own research, found out the medical benefits of it before I even touched it. Found out about the pineal gland and how we release DMT naturally, and that gives us into the dream state.
The pineal gland?
Yeah, we have a pineal gland.
Where the hell is that?
That's
I think it's like right in front of the brain.
Like it's if you have the brain like
that shit sound provocative. I was like, she showed me her pineal gland. I was like,
word up,
right? But no, like so that
start saying that. Like, yo, show me that pineal gland.
But that means you want to have some like
the vibes.
Fucking Treyway.
But yeah, so it's things like that I learned about after high school that they didn't teach you. They didn't teach you creative thinking. They're like, all right, here you have to like, and this is what kind of affects me with my wife a little bit is that she's a teacher. Yeah. They're like, oh, you need a creative way of thinking to solving this problem. And then when I give her like 3 examples that could have been done, and then she shows me the piece of paper, they're like, no, your creative way of thinking has to be this way.
It's not the creative. That's not creative.
You're telling
that's
me
standard.
You're telling me one way.
I get what you're saying.
So I'm like, this is why after high school I was able to do my research, got into the mind thing, figured about the alpha brain waves, what gets you going, what helps you relax, what helps you sleep.
It's like telling the kid 2 + 2 = 4 for his whole life, but there's that one kid that also says 3 + 1 = 4 also.
Yeah.
Nah, man, you can stick to the
No.
The 2 and 2.
What the fuck are you saying? I get what you're saying.
This is why I'm not in office. I never gave you my papers on time. Yo, I don't know if you know this. Some people in our graduating year, I sat in the guidance counselor office the day before graduation, writing 8 essays because I didn't give one in the whole year.
Oh my god, yo! That's Ritual Park for you though. They be like, damn, you missed 150 days, but fuck it. You know what?
Right.
Just go. Just walk.
Really?
Like, yo,
they do the no kid left behind over there?
Some shit like that. They do
what
something
happens is if you were good, basically, they'll allow you to pass. Meaning,
it was none of that shit. There's people they walk because they did not want to see that face again.
Oh, yeah.
Another year, yo.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of that in my year, but because we had, for some reason, we had the biggest class in
Yeah.
like the 10 years.
What school you?
I went to JFK high school.
Yeah.
So we had like the biggest class in like 10 years at the time. I'm not sure what it is now. But I was looking at some of the people I was walking with. I was like, nah, you definitely missed half the school year. Like, I was like how the fuck you do that? Yo. But like, hey, ain't my business.
Right.
I knew I was getting my
Yo, cause I got the shit end of the stick. Like I played ball all through high school, and like, you know, the stat book. I a bookkeeper. I want to drop no names, but this man couldn't even count to 20, yo. So like, let alone keep our stats, yo. He didn't know what a rebound was. I probably averaged close to a triple double my entire senior year, bro, and all that shit went on because this nigga is just sitting there doing nothing, yo.
Damn.
All my stats, yo, just kind of just like, and that nigga graduated. So I'll be sitting here like, damn, yo, like, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man. Oh man. What was the first album that you ever bought?
Back for the first time, Ludacris.
Word?
Yes, that shit was that was a slapper for me, yo. From beginning to end, yo.
You remember your first album?
None to this day. I have yet to buy a legitimate album.
Like, well, you don't like the first like.
Oh no! My bad. I did. It was the Linkin Park Jay-Z collabo.
Really?
Yep.
So you didn't buy it out until things was on like CDs.
Well, what happened was I was
I had some cassette tapes too.
Did you buy it though?
Nah,
it don't count.
That's the thing. My choice of music.
I might have bought the Tupac one. As a Tupac cassette. Nah, it was not Tupac. It's all four of them. The NWA one, I think it's all four of them, and they all like different.
Yeah.
I had that cassette. I remember that because I remember ripping that shit off and popping it, and then my pop's like, "Give me that, give me that back." Man.
Nah, for me it was always like I was always made fun of for my choice of music. Like I listened to country, I listened to rock before it was big. I listened to the emo before it got popular with these kids, and I'm like. And my brothers always made fun of it, so I was like, "Yeah, let me not get it."
You don't know the half of it, yo. If my mom could call in or some shit right now, she'd embarrass me, right? She's like, "Your middle name is Justin. You want to be Justin Timberlake when you was like, yo, you thought you were in sync, yeah." Like, my mom would call up like, "You watch Britney Spears in concert?" Like, I'm like, "Mom, chill."
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
And then Eminem came out.
Before, I guess it wouldn't be an album. It wouldn't be an album, but I guess first like purchase I've made with anything that had to do with music, and this is straight up 100% honest, was the Spice Girl VHS.
What?
Yeah.
That movie was tough though.
Are you kidding me?
Swear that was like probably my first purchase. Like with my money that I saved up was that.
I feel like I never finished that movie, yo. I get to the end where they're like in a White House or something. I'm like, God damn, I can't watch this.
What
shit.
movie is this again?
The Spice Girl.
Spice
World. Yeah, which is Spice World.
Dude, I never.
You know the vibes, yo. You gotta get a drop on that. You know the vibes.
Spice Girls, you know the vibes. Yo.
Yeah. That's how it goes. You see, this is what caused it.
Yeah, man. Yo, I would never forget my first album I bought, and I should have known there was something gonna be wrong with me after this.
Pee Wee Herman's Adventure Time.
I got my first album was Erykah Badu called Tyrone.
Oh man, he
That
was in the
cassette.
crib like jamming, bro.
You better go Tyrone. I listened to that whole shit.
You had like 4
repeat.
towels on your head.
You didn't even know.
Yeah,
Me and Erykah Badu got a relationship that she didn't even know about yet. But
Really?
yeah, I will never forget that. Then after that, it was Busta Rhymes Woo-Ha got you on check.
Okay.
Yeah. That's when, yo, you know what? I had to cut my hair because niggas started telling me I look like Show Enough, yo. I was getting tired of it. Niggas was like, yo.
I'm thinking about you definitely look like Show Enough,
yo.
yo.
And my hair was like all falling out. My shit started receding, yo. I was getting sick, yo. Baby mama drama, that shit had your hair falling like boom, yo. Nah, bro, I was looking like Show Enough. I was sitting there fucking going on live Facebook like, yeah, yo.
Am I the meanest? Am I the prettiest? That was my
oh,
dude.
yo.
That's my dude, yo.
Show Enough.
That's my man, yo.
Yo, Busta was that guy, yo.
Busta was the dude.
His shit was timeless. I think when he started fucking with Janet though, that shit had him on some other shit. After that song with Janet, they probably did something.
But I fucked with that song.
Nah, I love that song, yo.
That was dope.
That shit was
I think that was like the start of like I think Busta probably started the whole ad-libs, yo. You couldn't test busting some ad
Nah,
libs back then.
come on. Michael Jackson was the ad lib.
I don't know what he was going through. Like sometimes I felt like maybe he was like having small strokes.
I think he's a robot.
He was
You think it was
dancing.
malfunctioning?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
Michael Jackson was a robot.
He couldn't get out the way. I was like, bro.
Yo, he must have really had that feeling in him. Yo, like, oh yeah.
Yo, he felt every beat.
No,
Like,
that would have to be
his ankles is popping. He probably was dancing his toes and everything. His toes was going separate ways and shit.
Who's the king? What's his name? King before Michael.
James Brown.
James Brown,
yeah.
him too. He would do that.
But James Brown was laid back.
Nah,
he
he
was
was
cool.
chill.
He
Nah,
was
bro, like he would stop. He
It
would
was
finish the
power.
song. He'll just drop.
Nah,
Wait for someone to put the
he
code. Like,
had-
wait, I'm back.
No, he had great stage performances.
Yeah.
Like his performances were great.
It was
right? But it wasn't ad lib.
But
Like,
there was
you
also
couldn't hear his ad libs on the
What
record.
about Prince with his guitar?
But him and
Yeah.
Michael was like around the same time. Michael was a little bit before him because
Mhm.
remember
I
he
thought
was
Prince
part of
was
Jackson
a-
5.
Michael came up with it as a kid. Yeah.
Michael.
well,
Michael
ad-lib
part of
wise,
Jack-
Michael didn't
Michael
do it. So
started
he,
that during the Jackson 5.
I think that's because he was remembering his dad ass beating, like his ass beatings.
Ouch! Ouch, dude.
Now, he was always last to get the cereal box. He's like trying to get through everything.
Right?
Like,
Y'all guys are ridiculous.
he's like, Michael, no. He's like, whoa, it's cold water.
Y'all
I got him hot water.
Y'all so fucked up, yo.
Damn, Tito, took all the hot water.
Is that where his he came from?
Maybe.
Hey, his
They
tippy
say
toe
he was-
too?
They say he was castrated.
Uh,
It wasn't that proven?
chemically castrated.
he
Yeah,
was
his
chemically
doctor said yes.
castrated.
What?
Yeah.
Man, what age you got to do to get that, man?
You gotta
About to
it's
get-
before puberty.
I'm about to
Yeah.
get my son them vocals, boy. he about to
Oh, you
be,
gonna fucking
he's
get
about to
out,
be Justin
man.
Bieber out here, man. I need that Justin Bieber money, yo.
Yeah.
Sorry, Milan.
But Justin Bieber's not castrated. You can tell him.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, his voice got deeper.
I mean, he was just rich. He was born rich. They were
Yeah.
just like,
I think what Bieber's story was he was poor or something like
Well,
that.
he
And they
was
found him on the street.
No,
he was
Like him
adopted?
and his mother. They found him on the street.
oh,
Like, but he was like so small that he really can't remember that much.
I don't know. He got discovered off YouTube making
I thought
He,
he.
I know
music
they
covers,
didn't
yeah.
He lived on the street for a
I
while.
don't remember
didn't
that.
he? Oh, maybe. Man, I could have been making that whole thing up. But nah,
Probably
I could have sworn I heard a story like that.
Yeah.
Like maybe when they was first pushing him on
the Onion.
kids.
Is that where you read it from?
No, I definitely don't even know what the Onion is.
I hate getting voice notes, yo. When people send me voice notes, that shit is annoying.
Yo, I don't even answer those.
I'll be trying to hear it mad hard, like, and then you put it to your ear, it stopped playing out of the speaker, and then you just like put it back down and starts playing in the speaker. Yo, that shit.
What's your limit on when it comes down to like messages? Like,
I got 32 unread messages from one person right now.
so if they constantly keep hitting you back and forth, you shut them down.
I don't even care. Like this 32 probably gonna stay here all week. It's just like I know what the messages are. It's just me getting dogged and getting torn apart and shit. Like
You know what? Voicemails. I can't stand voicemails.
Dude,
yeah,
I
no.
don't even. I probably got 100 something voicemails right now. I don't even want to even go in it.
yo, I hate people who got full boxes and inboxes, yo, because my mom got full inbox.
I'm definitely around.
I'm
that.
going for full inbox.
He's like, I gotta erase my shit.
Like,
Like,
I gotta get home and probably one day just sit down and erase my voicemails.
Yeah, but okay. The only productive time, quote unquote, productive time to do that is while you're taking a shit. But when you're taking a shit, you're too busy on
Doing
Facebook
other
or
shit.
doing something else.
Yeah, you gotta
nah, yo, I'm
You're like-
taking it down. I'm playing
Right?
some mobile game.
Right?
Just sitting
nah, I
there.
can't even. I bring if I take a phone in the bathroom, I feel like I'm taking a shit, and I'm not even gonna be taking a shit no more. I'm gonna be just doing something like
Word. I
just
felt
on the toilet. Like you ever just been on the toilet, not using the bathroom, like just there, like I guess.
Your legs getting numb and stuff.
You're like, all right, I gotta go take a shower, yo. What the fuck? I'm sitting here.
Oh,
Like I'm the type of person. I come out the shower. I don't even throw clothes on. I'm just sitting there like
I got a bathrobe covering myself
yeah.
up.
Unless I got work, unless I gotta go to work, then I'm fucking running around the house ass naked trying to find something.
You have too many people to do that.
Yeah, yo, you wake up, people just be on Twitter all
do.
day, scrolling through naked. Like
I used to be balls out, but now I can't.
you get that FaceTime, like oh fuck, what's up? Like my phone, it was good.
When you accidentally
Are you naked? Nah, I just got no shirt
I don't
on.
answer FaceTime.
Yo, right.
I don't answer FaceTime.
I got an argument. Is it weird for a dude to FaceTime you?
A little bit.
Depends.
Low bet.
Depends.
Well,
It
low bet.
depends.
Depends on what. He better be in a mid smash and he better showing me a show.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, nah, you
That's
trying to
why.
watch somebody smash,
He
yo.
better be like, yo, check out this booty. I'm like, oh, bet. All right, yo. Doo, doo.
You have 15 seconds to keep me on this FaceTime.
No.
That's how it is.
I don't FaceTime.
Anything happen off.
No, it's too much. It's too much. It's like now
I have
you
a-
gotta
I-
see me.
I have a
Like,
cousin who doesn't call but FaceTimes.
no,
It's funny to know.
that's a cousin that I wouldn't be talking to.
I love this cousin. He's funny as hell.
That's a cousin.
But this is what happens for some, and I notice this, and I tell him this every time he calls me through FaceTime.
Yeah.
He always has post-sex hair, so I'm just cracking on him for like half an hour of how you calling me like after you just smash because the way your hair is. He just starts laughing.
He thinks about you right after you finish. Like, let me
Right?
help Jack.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, bro, what happened?
See what
Am I
you're talking about.
am I there for recovery, moral support? What do you need? Need a high five?
He was like, yeah, yo, I just want to tell you, man, like, something new happened today, yo. Like,
It's because your hair.
My hair's always
I
like
think because you're a guy and you have long hair, you're like in between the stages of woman and man.
But the
right?
beard.
So now
That's
they
why I have
kinda-
the beard.
Yeah, so he's kind of could come down a little bit slower.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then go back into
Then-
society.
Yeah, you
and
go
be
back
like,
into society.
got it.
You're the medium.
Gotcha.
I get it.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm gonna FaceTime you later. Okay.
Alright,
yeah. I don't know next time I feel. It's going to be a dry spout for me, yo.
So I was listening to you and you said so your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. How old?
My son will be 2 this Wednesday.
You don't mind talking about this?
Hell no,
Oh.
man. That's my life. That's all I am. Actually, just got his birthday tattoo.
Yeah, I seen your video,
Yeah,
man.
man, that shit was
I
killing
seen it.
me.
Nice.
Yeah, that's
nice.
his,
We really can't see it on camera, but it's fine. Yeah, nice.
Shout out my city though. Shout out my city.
About to rip your whole shirt off. But dope.
Nah, yeah,
So
that's the
how
best.
old is he?
He'll be 2 in the 24th. I think that's 3 days from now.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to other fathers too. I wanted to see how you handle being a dad.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like, I'm very, very, I guess, whatever word, specific, particular case, I guess you could say. I went to sleep at like, what time? I was supposed to be at 10:15. I went to sleep at like 8:15 this morning. Sitting here,
I understand.
back and forth with her all night, and it's like, you know, I would love to be able to have an outlet where, like, you know, parents and you know, we all could sit here and just have, you know, casual conversations, like as men are giving advice to other fathers, you know, or vice versa. Happy couples are giving advice to other couples going through mistrials and shit like that. But it never works out that way for me. It gets pulled as like me. I'm bad mouthing her. I'm putting my business out there, and it's like really that's never really my intentions. You know, like but yeah, yeah, I'm single father. She's a single mother, you know, and she's actually expecting right now. My daughter will be here on February 18th.
Oh,
and,
man, congrats anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm blessed, you know. Like I wish I was more vocal. I was more involved, like hands-on in a relationship. And it sucks. It's to that whole preparing for co-parenting thing. But like when you love your children, you know where you at in life. You don't pay mind into any of that shit. You shouldn't be carrying no animosity towards your partner like that, because it's not, you know, you should be able to step away from, all right, you know what, I may not have what I want out of this relationship, but let's just sit down and talk, you know.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, me and her, we don't really get along. It's not like it's communication. It's the whole. Everybody goes through it. You know, every relationship has their ups and downs. It's just about what you choose to how you react and what you choose to do about it. Like, you can sit here all you want and say that, oh, you know, I'm in a relationship and it's not working out, but are you trying to make it work out? Shit like that, you know. Like, what are you doing? Are you bringing your problems to your partner? You know, are you keeping things from your partner? It's just all of that, you know. It all plays into it. And I'm a real person. I'll put everything on a, you know, like you say. I'm glad you asked. Do you mind talking about it? Like, I'll put all my cards on the table because that's the way I carry myself. I don't like to, you know, have something, you know, to say, don't tell your other hand what the other hand is doing, shit like that.
Right.
Like, I feel like that's all about deception and people deceiving. I mean, it works in certain aspects of it, in war, battle, and all that stuff, like competition. But like when you're in a partnership, a business ship, a friendship, relationship, anything, you should be able to be open, you know. And like, it's to the point where we broke up 2 weeks ago. You know, everybody's like, "You're gonna get back together. You guys are gonna get back together. You guys love each other." And it's like, yo, like for 3 years now, like, you know, it's not really going that way, you know. And as much as I would love to sit here and fix it, it's like I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? I don't know what wires to connect, and
I think we
so much. It's just damage gets done before.
Yeah, I think when you're in a relationship where there's so much damage in there, you know what I'm saying? So much animosity towards the other person.
Yeah.
Now, this probably doesn't work for everybody. I just put all the cards on the table.
Yeah.
And I just be like, all right, this is what I did. Like, and I want to know everything you've done.
Yeah.
And from there, let's just see if we could mend it from there.
But it's like, it's my fault. I cut you off.
No, go do your thing, man.
It's like, all right, so it's a tough situation for me because it's like, all right, right now we're in this point where we're both voicing our displeasures about shit, right? On the internet, unfortunately. And it's like, you're voicing things that tell you're not in a happy relationship. Why are we together still?
Very unhealthy.
Okay, my bad for interrupting with this. This is what I guess me and my wife had our problems, right? And I admit it. We're not the happiest relationship, but out in public, everyone thinks we are.
Yeah.
We had a golden rule: outside, we're a unit at all times, no matter what it is. We are a unit. If I say one thing first and you don't agree upon it, just stand behind me with it, support me with that, chew my ass out when we're at home.
Well, the thing is, especially when it comes down to being, I don't feel like women, some women, I'm not saying all, they understand is that there has to be
respect.
Has to be respect when it comes down to a man. If a man says something out of pride, you gotta kind of check him in private.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You should never check a certain man.
Well, it's like deja vu just now, yo.
Well, this is the thing with that. Like, my wife used to post up her feelings on Facebook. I had to nip this in the butt a while back, and I told her, like, occasionally it's fine, but when you become specific and you mention it something for a relationship, like that we're going through at the moment.
Healthy.
No, this is just gonna piss me off. This is gonna drive me further. And I'm like, we're done with it. It's the same
when you
thing.
start putting stuff out in the public, you're taking a private relationship and making it a public relationship, and that means you're bringing. It's almost like a form of cheating, and this is just my thought, because if we have a private relationship, right, no matter what it is, just say we're in a situation like he's in, right, and that's still private. And once you start bringing other people in, it's like almost like you're sleeping with someone. You get what I'm saying? You're bringing other people into our relationship. Now I got to worry about this person's opinion, that person's opinion. Now both our opinions are now muted. It doesn't even matter what we're talking about anymore. You know what I'm saying? So except for we could like kind of reconcile this, maybe give each other 24 hours a little bit or whatever it takes just to kind of like mend everything. Now you're kind of like, oh, I got to call moms. I gotta let the 1,000 people I know on Facebook know what's happening. Yeah. Once that starts happening and other people start what they're looking for, attention.
Well, it's not only that.
All right, so I'm gonna give you a rundown of the whole situation. So like 2 weeks ago. All right, 2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? To me, in my mind, like, you know, obviously she's about 5 months long.
Hold on now. If you don't want the truth, don't say it.
Nah. I appreciate it, because it's like, honestly, this is like, I was on live last night. You feel me? Doing stupid shit, just like voicing my opinion, and like a lot of people don't give me feedback because it's such a sensitive situation. You know what I mean? And they don't want to get dragged into it. You know, they're telling me, "Oh, get off live, go talk to her," and it's like,
we are not relationship experts, but we know some things.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I'm 10 years long.
Wow, how long? Me and my wife is a long time.
Wife, you see the key word, wives, and that's the thing. It's just like. That's the thing. It hits it on the nail right there. Like, if you're not the wife at that point, you're not putting yourself in that position to become a wife. Right. You know, like you could sit there and talk about other people and how their relationship works because they're in a unit together. They already hit you. Like, you know, you have that respect from your wife. You know what I mean? You have that trust. You have that confidence that we're like, it's whatever. Like, even if something bothers you, you know that you can voice it. You know, you have that relationship. It's like. It's shit that went in the wrong way for so long. So, you know what I mean? 2 weeks ago, she got upset that someone commented on a picture of my son, our child that we have together. And it was nothing derogative, nothing. It was just a person that she had a problem with in the past. It was a family friend of mine. So, and she put all her energy was into that. You know what I mean? Ranting, tweeting, like, you know what I mean? Just nonstop. And I just like, yo, like, you don't have to call her a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? That's like me calling a woman of importance in your life, you know, a family friend of your mom's or whatever, a bitch. That's mad disrespectful. You don't talk to anybody like that, whatever. So She said it, and then I just said, you know what? I'm not gonna be around this energy. If that's what you want to choose to like, you know, put your energy into, then I'm gonna go elsewhere. I had a show that day, so I said I gotta be in control of my energy. I'm not gonna sit here. If that's what you're gonna be mad about. We had a great weekend. Everything's all good. Then like I'm gonna give you time to cool down. You know. Then an hour later, I'm still seeing the tweets coming through. So then I get to the point where like, all right, you want to talk? I get on Facebook Live. Then we go back and forth, and it's like, oh, you do this, you hang out with girls, you do that, and it's like I hang out with girls. Like I'll tell you when I'm hanging out with girls. I do whatever I do. It's not a problem for you. But when, you know, now we're talking about issues on the internet. You want to sit here and try to, oh, you smoke, you do this, you want to throw all my problems on the internet because I have a problem with something that you're doing right now. Now. And it's like you don't do shit as a father. You don't care about your son. You know what I mean?
So
like
it sounds like she's just trying to hit you below the belt.
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's like all right, so then, you know, I said, you know, if that's how you feel, then there's no need for us to be together, you know? Like there's no need for you're not in love with me. If so I broke up with her that day. That was 2 weeks ago. And she goes, good, lose my number, don't call, don't come seeing him, don't care, like this and that. You're like, you know, then
well, y'all breakup has nothing to do with the
exactly.
kid.
And I said that right there in the live. I'm like, you see how her actions are triggering, is leading to one thing. It's not about fixing a relationship. It's not about being a better parent or talking things out. It's about controlling me.
At the same time, bro, to be honest with you, you shouldn't be on live.
I know that, bro.
You shouldn't be on live.
All
You
right.
shouldn't be having these conversations
But it's not
out in the open.
It's to the point where I've gone to her house to speak with her about certain things, and it's like she's closed-minded. You know, I've gotten arrested in front of her house. You know what I mean? Because it's like it's fight or flight. You know what I mean? You can really try to meet someone halfway, and I can go 90% of the way. I still don't get 10%. You know what I mean? So like a lot of these things, I don't know. I know I'm wrong for being on the internet like that. So like I said, for 2 weeks now, we haven't been together. The day after that, we broke up. My uncle came into town and asked to see him. He came over. You know what I mean? And whatever, you know, he had a scratch on his face, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Certain things, it rubs me the wrong way. I'm like, yo, you got time to tweet about me, you got this and that and the third. How come every time we get in an argument, it seems that he gets a cut, or you're not paying attention because you're too busy pouring your emotions out on the internet. So whatever.
People get addicted to that.
Yeah,
that
yo, and that's the thing.
You know what it is? My bad for interrupting.
Ahead,
this is the perfect example of what's it called?
Conflict of
No. Controversial bias, something like that.
Conservation
Yeah.
bias?
Oh yeah. So what happens is she's spewing out her emotions on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever she wants to do it as.
I just want her to know I ain't got no problems.
You're like right at the camera. Yo.
I ain't got no problems with you.
It's confirmation bias.
Yeah,
there we go. So what happens is she's spewing this out, and she has, I guess, fairly relative thinking people surrounding her saying, yes, he's wrong. Yes, this. Yes, that. Like constantly yes men on her feed.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get online.
That's why, like, this I'll tell you right now, how many times I got blocked. But before I make this about me, I'll tell you, like, what she's doing is completely 100% incorrect. At times where I get upset, my number one thing is I'll get off my phone. I do not go on Instagram, do not go on Facebook, do not go on Snapchat, any of that. If I go on my phone, it is to search the web, just get my mind off of it, to play a damn game, to get my mind off something, or go to the gym, go work out, go for a run, go spend time with my kids and things like that. So what she's doing is she's feeding into her emotion.
Yeah, and it's something that like I left in the past after the first baby. You know what I mean? I made my mistakes the first pregnancy, and I tried to learn from them. You know what I mean? So it's like this whole entire year I haven't been on that. You know, putting this.
She's still feeling the effects from the first.
Nah, she's not as. She's Jamaican. Yo,
you'd be surprised, man. Some people now she's pregnant again, right? So
but that's
her
the thing.
emotions are
flaring up again.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And what if she's just thinking about
last
time I was
wanting to
pregnant.
wishing that the baby was someone else was the father.
Oof, that's ouchies.
Wishing I was dead.
Ouchies again.
Saying that you wouldn't care if I died.
Yeah, with stuff like that, you gotta kind of.
Saying I'm gonna be a deadbeat dad like my father.
Damn, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of things that are said, and it's like whatever. So a lot of stuff in the past. You know what I mean? I move forward. That's not prior to 2 weeks ago. So that's all prior to 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago.
You guys gotta come for with a clear mind. Just again, I can only make suggestions. I'm not. You know what? I'm not really.
I'll say this right now.
I don't know.
You guys should come to therealshittalkers right here, and we'll work you through this.
I'll walk y'all both through this.
Yeah.
We got it.
Nah, yo, because honestly, like even like last night, it got so corny, yo. Like we're sitting here talking mad shit back and forth.
Well,
She's
why?
Yo,
you gotta remember this one thing.
Because she wants attention,
I want to cut you off real quick. I'm sorry to cut you off.
It's cool.
You gotta remember this one thing: internet is dangerous.
Yeah, I know.
Because
man. I'm trying to do
everything
business.
that you say, everything you say, is recorded. All right,
It's endless.
and one day your son and your daughter might catch on to those conversations.
Hell yeah.
And they're gonna see how you was reacting to mommy, and they're gonna see how mommy was reacting to you.
Yeah.
All right, and then they're gonna voice their opinions on that alone. So you need to cover all your bases.
Yeah,
and let's just say we do go into co-parenting or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm allowed.
All right. Let's just say but to be honest with you, she has all rights to take those conversations into court with her.
Yeah.
Okay?
But it's not gonna work in her benefit.
I hear you. You think so, but
I know
most
I know
men,
how we have a better chance of fucking
of
winning
hitting
the lottery, right?
It's bad to say. A lot of us have a better chance of hitting the lottery and be like, than to have these rights that we feel like we deserve. So you gotta, with a clear mind, and just with a clear mind, let her be all nuts, and you be like, listen, listen, dog, listen. I don't give a fuck what you gotta tell me right now, woman. All right, I want to talk about this baby. Now, when you have a chance and you calm the fuck down, let's go get something to eat and let's have a conversation.
Yo, everything prior to this, we would just go out to eat, and it's all like talking. It's just lack of lust. It's kind of like when you with somebody and they don't realize that they're not the person for you. You know what I mean? And it's like we can make strides into being the person that, you know what I mean? Obviously, these are things I should have thought about prior to having a child, but you can make strides to being the person that someone wants. Like, all right, I want you to be more involved in my what I'm doing. And if that person chooses that's not what they want to do, or we're different, or you like to be clingy, I like my space, this and that and the third, and that doesn't appeal for me in my relationship. Why I'm gonna stay in a relationship where it's like I'm not satisfied? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or, like mentally, I'm not interested.
I get you on that one, and then you have all rights. You know what I mean? You have all rights for that, but at the same time,
vice versa.
You know what it is?
Vice versa.
If she didn't want to be with me because of whatever, I would have to take that and wear that out, man. If I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do and she broke up with me, I can't just sit here and say, oh, you're wrong for that. You know what I mean? You're wrong for not wanting to stay with me because I didn't want to change. That's what it's, you got to be able to conform. You got to have sacrifice. You got to not conform. You got to compromise. Like, you got to have sacrifice. And that's the thing. Like I said, 2 weeks ago we broke up, and I saw him once, the day after, and it's been 2 weeks straight, and I was blocked. My phone was blocked, you know what I mean? I have text messages, you know what I mean? Then I'm reading shit. I'm keeping tabs just to make sure she's good. I'm reading her. She's saying she's not feeling good, this and that. I'm worried, I'm worried sick. It's my daughter in her stomach, But it's only so much I can do when someone is saying, like, I don't need you, F you, I wish you were dead. So it's like, from a distance, I'm sitting there waiting for that storm to pass.
Painful, dog.
For that. And I can't even see my son. I can't even see my, and then I'm going to go be around her in front of my child when she's really operating off that spite. He sees it. I'd rather not be around him than him to get a clue of that. I'm seeing.
But in a sense with that,
it threatens mine. Because then it's things like this, it escalates so crazy to like, I have videos of me being cursed about her pulling him away from me. Like, like trying to hold him. Like, you're pregnant, you have a belly, you're trying to carry him down the steps. Like, you're doing everything the most. And it's going to end up you hurting him or hurting yourself, Like,
but the kid's going to remember that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I don't want to, like, I know he misses me. I know he loves me. I know all that, and like it's just to the point where she's trying to make it you just post pictures. You're not a real father. You don't really care about him. And it's like, you wish that so much. You pray and pray. So whatever. Within the past 8 days, she posted maternity shots. You know what I mean? We did a maternity shoot. And, I paid for the shoot and everything. And she decided to, like, after we broke up, she posted a few pictures, like a couple of revealing pictures that I don't like. And the most recent one was yesterday. It's her in a bathing suit and a see-through. You can fully see her nipple. Like, you can see the ring and everything. And things like that. That's more sacred. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not in a relationship where I see other people, have full dress, like, how they plan it. You know what I mean? You plan things with your wife. You plan things with your wife. Your wife wouldn't just go out there and do something that you don't agree with. And then, then say, well, this is what other women are doing. Those other women have husbands that, that they're with, and they feel comfortable enough doing that. But when you're sitting here dragging me through the dirt, telling me this and that and the third, talking to this person, telling me I'm not a good dad, and then you're sitting here, you're subjectifying yourself like that on the internet, and this is right after we break up, all for attention, And I didn't pay into it. I didn't feed into it at all, All last night, I was in the studio painting and shit, and this is the funny thing. This is where everything escalated yesterday. I'm at Taco Bell, and I make a little. I flirt with the lady at the drive-thru. I'm like, how come you're not on the menu? Whatever, something like, you know what I mean? Just joking around. I'm single now, like for the first time in 3 years, so I can make jokes like that because I'm in a better. It sucks, you know. It's heartbreaking, but I know that I gave my all to that relationship. You know what I mean? I know that there's no more I can do. That doesn't mean go find another girl, go have another baby, start a new family. No, but that doesn't mean that I you know, I can't act on my feelings. At the end of the day, I wasn't gonna bag the girl from Taco Bell anyway. Then I get a phone call.
You want to bag a girl from Taco Bell?
Yeah, nah, bro. I mean, Taco Bell's good and all, but
nah, dog.
I'll bring you to a Taco Bell.
Nah,
nah, but yeah, she kind of just she called me, blowing up my phone, just like on some take the pictures of him down, like take my son off your Instagram. I'm gonna report your page, like because you think go bag your girl from Taco Bell, and then the thing with the go find your thick woman. You know what I mean? Like you're
sounds like there's something there.
Well, this is what this is
no,
what
but all it would take was for her to sit here and say, you know what, like, can we just talk? Like, you gotta be so tough. You gotta sit here and wish death on me. You gotta sit here
you know
and
what
tell.
it is? Okay, my bad for interrupting. This is how it is, at least for my situation, which was I guess semi-similar, but without the giant public spew.
Giant.
What happened was my wife wanted to feel like a woman again, right?
I'm glad I ain't jump on your page when I.
So what happens is, she, like, for us, I guess the three of us here, we wanted things to be more direct. You want us to them to talk to us. You want us, or you want we want them so that, hey, be direct with us. We're goddamn Neanderthals. We don't know left from right. We like just give us a straight path. We'll get there. Right. Don't be like, all right, don't start spewing shit about me and then want me to come back like and apologize to you. Just come and tell me where I messed up.
Do you think
right?
Some women feel like they just have to be tough.
Yeah, and that's what it is, and that's it sucks. Like I'm not gonna stand behind you with you standing on my neck. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to put me down to be better. We could be king and queen. We could we could both rule, and that's not what it is. It's like she said, "Oh, I'm not chasing no." It's not chasing me, yo. Like you understand? Like us not talking is putting space in between me and my child. You know what I mean? Like you think I don't want to be here through your pregnancy? You don't think I don't want to sit here and mold and together as a family? You think that like I want to have a business with this girl, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here telling her, like, oh, let's get a camera, let's invest in a camera, this and that. Oh, all right, I want the camera, but I don't want to invest in it. I don't want to do nothing with it. Like, that's for my like, it's just a lot of things that just don't make sense, yo. And damn, speaks down on me and tries to. And the day I'm still paying my things. Like, you know what I mean? I'm still, like, I'm reading this shit right here. It's still going. Like, we stopped talking to each other 6 o'clock in the morning, yo. And let's say she's been up for almost an hour. You see, I'm scrolling right now.
Damn,
and this is the whole time I've been in here. This is the whole time I've been in here.
Jesus.
Right.
The whole time I've been in here.
I'm sorry you're going through that, man.
Yeah,
it
man.
Sucks to hear when I see guys have to.
And it's so funny. If I could read to you the things she's saying,
I don't want to know.
It's talking about jealousy.
You know what it is? Like in a sense, by having you up here and having the platform, you're able to express your feelings. You're able to talk. Right? No. This is my thing though. This is a great format to get your side out, the way you're able to express yourself and whatnot. The way and this is what I hate about Twitter, Instagram, things like that. You have 3 seconds of the picture, you could talk a little bit, whatever you want to do. But through text itself, you lose complete meaning.
Yeah, because
people get interpretations of what they want.
Once you start texting, you don't know. You don't know exactly how the other person looks and feel.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Even
with people you know on a regular basis, you start to assume things like, I could say what, you know what I mean, like, and you're like, what? What do you mean what? Like he said what? Oh, why are you screaming at me? Like, what are you talking about? Screaming at you? Like,
besides her, besides your ex right now, has there ever been a time where you text something, then all of a sudden it was innocent, and then it was
I articulate myself very well, yo. So like, if I'm texting anything to you, it's spot on, like exactly what needs to be said, yo. Like,
I'm very sarcastic, so you don't know how
many
times
that's what I'm not exactly. I'm not sarcastic. I'll tell you, like, yo, like, can you pick up your phone? Let's talk. No, what the fuck you want to talk about? I call. Boom, boom. Get off my phone. Going on Twitter. Tweet. You know what I mean? It's like, what is going to stop the bleeding here? Like, nothing's gonna stop the bleeding. I can sit here,
amputate,
and do everything I can. Yo, I ran on Route 80 for this girl. She told me she was gonna kill herself one night. I ran to her house. She didn't even fucking open the door for me.
Maybe we should
didn't even open the door for me though. I'm just saying, like, no, because I've dealt with suicide thoughts. You know what I mean? I've been there. I've overcome that. This is the same woman that sits there and tells me, like, you're a punk. Go cry. Go be depressed. Like, go kill yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Talk, like, attacking someone that I overcame it, thank God, you know what I mean? But literally to be in a relationship where someone doesn't realize, like, I didn't have my father in my life to fully be there. He was there, you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and talk about my father like that. He went through his shit and, you know, space, but he's back in my life, you know what I mean? I mended my differences with my dad so he could meet her, you know what I mean? I introduced her. She's the first girl that ever met my father. So it's just, to a sense, it's like...
My girl has yet to meet my father.
Yeah.
You tripping.
But he was deported. He's in Peru.
Oh, shit.
You know why, though, right?
Drugs.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
He's like, there. He's like,
That was a joke. But
I'm very truthful. I'm 100% honest, right?
Yeah, maybe you need to talk to him.
Right. This is, and I'll be 100% honest now. Like, in the way I saw it was, my mom left. She got basically a better life than what she had.
Keep this. It says, people are jealous because I have a 2-parent household. That shit is sad. I've noticed the envious behavior ever since I was growing up, and it happens with a lot of people that I encounter. How can everything be handed to you when no one else would pay for your housing, anything that you want in life? Sorry, I bust my ass just as hard. Like, someone really speaks down on me. Like, my main purpose of talking about this right now is the last 15 seconds ago, is that she's probably watching this. She's saying that I'm jealous of her living in a 2-parent household.
I grew up in a single-parent household, and I'll tell you exactly what it went for me. Like,
6 bedrooms, baby.
Right?
You don't want no smoke.
No, I'll tell you exactly, right? Like, a statement like that
I got a building.
Look, check this out.
You know what I mean?
A statement like that pisses me off for the simple fact I went through 3 generations in one apartment building. My grandparents, my parents, my aunts and uncles, and their kids in one apartment building. Now it came to my uncles, my mom ended up getting their own house, and I was the first one in my generation to purchase the house with my younger brother. So we purchased it. So we overcame. We are no longer a statistic at this point, right? And what she's saying, like, being envious of that, like, no. I didn't spend my time to be envious. I've told you this quote before, and I've told you this quote before, is those who are doing better than you don't look back at you. And
true story.
That's what I did
my
for 2
weeks, man. 2 weeks, I was just, you know.
So by her saying that, I'm like, first of all, if you weren't jealous or envious, you wouldn't even bother having this conversation or even posting that up. That's not necessary.
I think because we can't bash.
My bad. Once again, that one statement pissed me off.
I get what you're saying. We can't bash because we don't know. There's no offense to you, bro, because you definitely what it sounds like you're saying is very true.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I know my life, you know.
We only hear on one side.
Correct.
Yeah. So we don't really know.
Oh, sure. Everybody, you guys want to go to GVLDenmilli at Twitter, and you can, you know, figure out her side of the story. There's 2 weeks of work you can get from there. You know, I'm sure she's gonna either delete the page.
And the shit talkers don't want no parts.
She's gonna delete the page. She's gonna take it down. Nah, yo,
And then DM me. Don't put it on my page. Just DM me.
No, but honestly, the way this conversation is, my bad.
The roof over my head is the only luxury I have. Everything else I did on my own.
All right, so I'm back.
Yeah, like, it's naive.
Good me. All right. My thing is, like, I would love to have her in and have her speak her side. And
nah, bro.
The reason why I would, this is the only reason
she
why.
could come here, but I'm just letting y'all know, if she wouldn't want it, she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't have the balls to do it. 2,
come on the mic.
It would be a lot of talking over each other, and that's what, like, I've when we first broke up at the beginning of this year, prior to us deciding to have another baby, I told her we should do co-parenting. She said, I don't want to co-parent with you. Like, just said, I don't want to. I said, let's do couple counseling. I don't want couple counseling. You know what I mean?
But then that's on her not wanting
exactly.
to fix it.
There's nothing I can fix.
No, this is like, this is not, once again, the reason why I would like to is because for me, the way we started this conversation after the music was, I'm more into the psychological things of it. So it's not only what's happening now within the past 2 weeks, it's also what happened with her and why she like that.
And of course,
I just want to hear other men's side of the story.
Yeah, man. That's the thing. Like, I tried my best not to, like, to not have the pregnancy. I want to be with her. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it's just when, all right, this is going through the motions again. Another pregnancy, you're so wrapped up on sharing it, embracing your body, showing off, normalizing breastfeeding, doing all this stuff. Like, we're not raising our child together. We're not sitting here deciding things. We're not picking out, what we're doing for his birthday. We're not talking about we didn't get to celebrate Halloween last year. You know what I mean? Like, certain things. Oh, you don't celebrate Halloween. I celebrate Halloween. Things like that. We got to discuss. Like, hey, you got all the time in the world to sit here and do this tweet. Like, literally, you woke up today. What am I doing? I'm sitting here networking. I'm doing business. This is business. Like, you're sitting there ranting, like nonstop ranting. I didn't go to sleep until 6:30 in the morning because of rants nonstop. Is there
money in this?
There's no money in it. That's what I'm saying. And that's the thing. It's like
no money in ranting.
In the beginning, she wants to do.
On the shit talk.
She wanted to do a blog. She wanted to do this whole mom blog stuff too. She killed all that. She didn't follow up on that. It's just everything, Like, and I'm not here to attack her. It's not that at all, man. Like, I'm losing.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You feel passionate. You're passionate about this.
The more and more I'm losing. You know what I mean? It's lose for me. You get what I'm saying? I walk away from this with my head high. I'm losing.
Right.
I sit here and fight. I'm still losing. You know what I mean? Because it's not like the fight is helping her. It's not. She's not understanding. She thinks it's someone out to get her. No, like. The minute you chose to make me an enemy in my son's life, the minute you chose to tell the story that I'm not a good father, I don't do shit for you, I don't buy nothing, I don't take care of anything, like when a week prior to that, it's like, oh, this is the ring I want. Oh, this is the house we should get. Oh, after this, I can't wait to go out on a date with you. Like, I'm ready for my taco date, my gyro date. I'm ready for this. Like, and then a week later, it's like, you don't do shit. You don't do nothing. Like, like. And then it's like, it's like, it's shit like.
Let me tell you.
This is why.
Hold on. Let me tell you, seriously, what they call it, that baby amnesia shit is real.
Son. Oh, yeah,
nah, I know
that baby amnesia shit is real. I had been times, me and my wife had a conversation, literally probably like 5 hours, 6 hours later, it was a whole different conversation. I'd be like, all right, listen. I'm gonna start recording us now.
I did that too,
start
bro.
Recording us when we have conversations because apparently you don't fuck you talk. But like I get you, man. I get you. Well, I wanted to touch on getting back to the father.
I started rambling on. My bad.
Dude, it's okay. It's the real shit talks for a reason. What I wanted to talk to you about, because you are a dad and you had your dad and your you said you and your dad wasn't that close.
My mother and him split at age 3 when I was 3 years old. But
was he like gone or was he like there? And how important do you think it is for a father to be there?
My father, he couldn't be in my life to, you know what I mean? Like after he split up, because I have a half brother. I have my older brother. I told you, just my half brother, and he was basically. Like, I would go visit him on summers, vacations, holidays, things like that. And my father always that's why I love my mother and my dad so much, because my mother, in all 18 years, she never spoke bad about my father. Despite anything that, like, him not being there or whatever, she never asked him for nothing. She, she did it all by herself. My mother is well decorated, like 4 masters, worked on Wall Street, like a very, like, independent woman came up.
Shout out to your mom.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, I'm like, I know how to treat a woman, I watched my mom go through the struggle, so I would never, ever wish that upon another person or my family itself. And my father just the same, vice versa. He was like, your mother is the smartest, the most beautiful woman that I ever, like, my father was in jail, incarcerated. My mother gave him 3 books, Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and the 48 Powers of Law. You know what I mean? And then on that, he picked up the 32 arts of whatever, all that shit. He just kept, like, she pushed him to get his education. So, like, and when I would see him, he would always tell me, simple things, take care of your mother, don't ever walk with a girl on the outside.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of guys.
Things
that drives me crazy.
I actually do that with my daughter now too. I don't like when I walk. I keep her on my inside. I'm like, you're not.
I had to talk to her about that.
My father instilled a lot of principles in my life at an early age. You know what I mean? So like, I'm always thankful for both of them. You know what I mean? My mother, she never sat here. She said, you know what? You make your own decision of how you feel about your father when you're old enough. So like. Credit to both of them, you know what I mean? They're the fucking Facebook friends now. Like it's so weird. It's so weird. But it's just rough, like stemming from that, I would never, like, I know what it felt like missing my dad, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not seeing my dad.
Right.
Especially when you love it, you know what I mean? When you, like, this is, my dad was fun as hell. He used to be like, yo, Give me 5 on the backhand side in the water. You gotta sit like you owe me a quarter. You know what I mean? in the hole, you gotta sit.
It's so funny like, when it comes down to dads. You remember the small, silliest things that they did. Yeah. Even if you don't remember anything, it's like the smallest, silliest things.
Like he left me out in the summer, waiting for him to pick him up for 3 hours.
But that
but this is the thing for him. Like for my father, I do bring that up. I make that a joke when not. But I guess the sentimental version for me was talking about. First cassettes, he gave me, I think it was a FEL 65, If I Was Blue. I had that song recorded front and back. That was the one song I would
I just realized what you said, FEL. I'm like, that's how you say that word.
Yeah, so that group, like, that's the one. Yeah, that's the If I Was Blue.
If I was green out.
That's my shit.
So I had that recorded front to back on the cassette. This is what he gave me. And I held that dear and the yellow Walkman, those old school Bumblebee looking shit. Yeah. And I remember like sitting down, and this is why I love tomatoes. My first vegetable I grew was tomatoes. And I guess the first memory I can have of my daughter, like feeding her from my garden, was tomatoes. Being younger, he would slice them, have them out on a plate, and just put a little bit of song. We just sit there and eat it. And like those little memories, yeah. Will I make fun of it for leaving me outside? Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of it, bitch. That was my 9th birthday. You left me out there.
I think one of my memories of my dad that changed ways how I thought, because I was really, you get really playful, but kind of soft. I wasn't really soft, but I was kind of soft. I was always told I have to fight. Like if someone wants
toughen up, Mo.
Toughen up, Mo. Like, I was the kid that got punched for a reason. Like, it wasn't like when I got hit, it was because I needed to be stronger. Right? But I remember when he put all that into practice, and that changed everything. Because somebody said something, and he was in our basement. We used to have my family had this house in Brooklyn. I don't think anybody really remembers this. Someone said something, and then I was sitting playing the video game in my basement, like, and I remember my dad getting up. He like took his brothers, and he's like, "Hey, go do." So the dude was about to go upstairs. He held the guy back, grabbed my man by the hand, smacked him. Pop! He was like, "Yo." He was like, "Let me tell you something." And I was like, I would never forget that, because it's like, he was like, "Let me tell you something. You don't come to my house and my family, smack, and do that." Like, I was just like, oh, that's how you handle business. He waited till everybody was gone. He was just like, chill. No. And so that's how I handle things now. Like I don't do it in front of people. Yeah. It's not it's not a spectacle. It's nothing. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I was like, hey, yeah. This is just Joe, but if I had a problem with Jack, I'll wait till the camera's off. No. Snatch it by his head. Fucking put fire to his face.
Bro, I'm bringing that arm. I'm pulling guard through
whatever. But he knows what time it is. But he knows it's between me and him. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the thing. That's a big difference from nowadays. Like
people do it for the clout.
Even not only that,
and he's a fun dude too. Yeah. He's fun. But when he turn up, it's turned up. Like it's volume all the way to fuck.
I remember being younger. Even in RP, if I had issues with someone in elementary school or middle school, we'd bring it to my backyard. I had boxing gloves that had always one-on-one. And now I'm seeing videos, even today, like a couple weeks ago, where kids are getting jumped at RP. I'm like, what are you doing?
I got jumped in RP.
What were you doing the first time you got jumped? Like, what was happening?
See, the first time I got jumped, though, I didn't get jumped, though. I fought back.
Wow, professional,
right? Shut up. I'm just communicating with the people.
Your first day? First day on the job?
You know what's crazy, too? It was right up the block from here, right there on Main Street, right on Main Ave, right up on Passaic. And it was like some Trinitarios. If I said that right, I tried to say it real Spanish. It was los Trinitarios. Nah, don't kill me. I know the vibes. Chill out.
Chill. Fucking trailer.
Nah, I got set up. This girl, she told me to come over her house, and I had to walk down. I was walking down on Monroe, bro, and I walked past these 2 kids, and I should have knew something, yo. They came up on me. One of them had a knife, and I took off my belt. I started swinging my belt, yo, and I hit one of them in the face with the belt. The other dude, he started chasing me. I said, I booked it out of there. So that was the first time I almost got jumped. And then recently, like, I guess you say 3 years ago, I got snuffed. I got cheap shotted, by a couple of artists I was working with, and niggas ran, got caught by the police, all that.
Jesus.
And then you know that.
Why they jumping?
Cause I was working with one of them, and he was a minor at the time, and I financed all the equipment, not equipment, but the software I gave to him was $500 software. I gave it to him for free, and then it got to a point where like, you know, he was like, I don't need you, get the fuck out of here, like, because he had what he wanted. So I took the software off his computer, and I didn't delete nothing. I just, you know, password protected it, so I know where everything's at, and I took it off, and I went home, and his brother calls like, yo, blah, blah, yo, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, what? He's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo. Nigga, what are you saying? He's like, come outside your house just now. So I'm like, whatever, yo. So I'm like, if you want to talk, you come in the house, the door's open. Hey, bang, outside my door. So I run down the steps like, yo, what the hell? Like, you just hit my house? I'm in the face with the dude, and then someone else snuffed me from behind, you know what I mean? Now I'm fighting 5 dudes on my front porch, broad daylight in Richfield Park, and like one of the most busiest streets, you know what I mean? Cops up and down the street all the time. And they ran off, and they ended up getting caught up. The cops caught them like shortly after. And not even that, they was all on Twitter like, oh yeah, they don't want to see us turn up. They don't want to see us win. Like, what? You jumping me was your claim to fame? And that's what it really became. Because now it's like, you hear it, yo, Keith's a snitch, Keith's a this and that. Like, they chose my name, they used my name as a platform, yo. Even to the point where they was hanging out with my baby mother, telling my baby mother that, oh, he's a rat. When she was pregnant, she was like, oh yeah, I heard you a snitch. I heard you a rat. People was like, oh, why you want to have a rat baby? I'm like, yo, you're supposed to be my girl. Like, you're sitting here, like, you want me to come out of character right now. You want me to go to jail right now to prove a point. Like, you want me to go to jail to prove a point right now. You know
what? This is what brings me to a video, right, that I remember seeing. Kid got jumped, right? And what he did was, he's like, all right, he went, found each one of those that jumped him. Like, someone recorded it. He found the video. He went to each one of these kids' houses. He's like, all right, let's do this. Shoot the 1s and 2s. He took off his bag, and they just went at it. Motherfucker beat everybody's ass.
That's what I do.
Right? There's my and honestly, going with the jump, like, I've never been jumped, but I have been it's a cheap shot. It looked stabbed, man. I drove myself.
Oh, shit. I was like, I've been cut, too.
Actually, I've been stabbed by my brother, but that's
that night, I was cut. The first one with the Dominicans.
I mean, I never said this out loud, all right, because, again, I'm very private. I've been shot.
Damn.
I've been sliced. I've never been stabbed, but I caught the knife.
That's what I was saying, yeah. That shit sucks.
And it's not something to be proud about.
Not at all, yeah.
I mean, it's not something to be proud about.
Yeah.
And it's not even something I even probably told my family. They probably, if they watch, they probably know now. But but it's an experience that gets you really paranoid, like very paranoid.
Yeah,
like
never really recover from it.
You never do. Like, so, like, sometimes I see certain guys that act tough, but they never really been through.
They've never been punched in the face.
They've never been punched in the face.
We know a couple of those.
Oh, what? Yeah. I'll tell you about it after the show. I think about that day with my dad in that basement, and the disciplines my grandmother taught me is that you don't run from a problem. You face it.
Yeah.
Like, so if someone told me they had an issue with me, I'm coming. Like, it's not.
You're running from it.
I'm not coming. I'm just not. No. You holler at me.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I showing up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's never been a social media thing. It's never a conversation that everybody needs to be part of.
Yeah.
Most of the people who know me, they know if there's an issue with me, right? You tell me, I'm gonna show up.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if, but as a dad now, do you kind of give your kids that same lessons? You know, like, do you be like, hey, listen, somebody got a problem with you, you gotta go over and smack the hell out of somebody?
Yeah, that's funny. I seen that.
Because it's no longer, we're no longer in that position. Like, I don't know if we're in society, we're in that position where you have to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, it's kind of that whole tattletale effect, tattletale versus handling it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you go like, that's how I was brought up. Don't be a tattletale.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Handle it.
Yeah, I was like, go handle it. But how do you do it? Because if you go deal with it, you're the guy.
When it's your child, you're looking at a different aspect. Like,
if you go handle it, right, nowadays, you're the crazy dude. Yeah. Right? But you also could be the guy who get his name run through the mud online.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, if you don't handle it.
Yeah. So, like, what it's like if you, again, like you said earlier,
Yeah,
you damned if you do, if you damned if you don't.
That's what
right?
I say.
You know what I'm saying?
Someone has a problem with me. Or anything like that with my kids, right? That's how I do it. Yeah, actually, recently my younger sister kind of got sneak shotted with this, and it kind of pissed me off.
someone got sneak shot?
Yeah, my
Someone
younger
saw
sister.
sneak
And you don't know the self control I have,
Dude.
right? This what happens.
You better.
I-
There's a higher power because there's
yeah,
no
that's
self
it.
control with me.
Right?
You better go ask.
No.
Benji.
I talked to my
You know
sister. I talked to my sister. She said no, don't do anything. But I told him like, find me this girl's address. I'll go talk to her parents.
I'm a vengeful spirit, dog.
Ooh, bro. And I know.
That's how I am too. It's hard for me to take a loss. You know, I'm gonna take loss out, especially
Yeah.
like being like I recently got jumped. Yo, I recently got jumped July 24th, yo. On my son's 10 month. And the thing is, even when I got jumped, this girl came to the hospital and said I deserved it, yo. She said I deserved to get jumped because I was at a bar. Like people go to bar all the time.
I feel like this is toxic, yo.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
straight up. I've been sitting here. I bit my tongue. I
And
don't
it
want no
sucks.
smoke.
It sucks,
But
yo.
it
And that's the
sounds
thing.
super toxic, yo.
It's things like if she could sit here and put a list of like things that hurt her in her relationship, it would be a list. I'm sure she would have.
We shouldn't give her any more
I don't
attention.
know. Okay.
Nah, but I got
thing-
jumped
One thing
the
with her.
24th.
One thing with her,
And
she sounds like she plays the victim.
I
No, bad for interrupting. Go ahead.
I can't even go to the bar that I got jumped at. You feel me? And it's not because like I'm afraid of anybody. Like right now, out to this day, I would make that my time right now to go fight every single person right now, one by one, win or lose. You know what I mean? Just to give them that run. Like yo, all four of y'all, all y'all wanted to like we can do this today, yo. Like the real shit talking. Like, but I have another.
I'll referee that shit.
I have
I
a
would
daughter.
too.
I have a daughter coming too. You feel me?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like I have a
dude.
son. You know what I mean? I can't. And that's what it really comes down to, making the right decision. To all right, you know what? And it's hard when like your support, the person you're making those sacrifices for, you're deciding not to jeopardize that family because you love this person, and this person don't even care. They don't give a fuck about you. They think you deserve to get your legs broken. They think, you know what I mean, like. And it's just like, yo, that's how you feel. Like, ain't no coming back from that. There's no right in the things that, like, the spite that comes out of your mouth. Why would I ever believe that you're loyal? You know what I mean? If you're not even loyal to your feelings, what makes you think physically I would feel like you're loyal?
Yo, what happened to pride?
Like just pride.
Pride. Why are these kids nowadays jumping? What happened to the ones on ones? Like,
Dude, because people are scared to get punched in the face.
Yeah, yo.
It is what it is.
you know, I'm not gonna lie, especially after doing jiu-jitsu and learning and like really getting good at it.
That's the thing. People abuse it. Like some
want-
people abuse it.
No,
Once
not
you
even
get to that.
My thing is, I kind
Yeah.
of
Get up
want
in something,
somebody.
yo.
Nah, I told him already. I'm about to get back
Yo,
on.
no,
I used to
I-
box.
I kind of want someone to
We'll
jump
talk
me.
after the show.
Yeah.
Kind of want a little group to jump me, bro.
Really
Bring
wants
some
to get
meat.
jumped.
Yeah.
Nah, dude,
Bro,
I've been
you know what's
in.
fucked up?
Okay,
I was
listen,
drunk as
That
hell
was
too.
pre-fighting. Now you know.
No,
Post
I've been fighting
training,
a long
bro.
time, big.
Post training. The training you have now.
I will kill somebody.
Exactly.
There's no way. But
I want to go to court, like self-defense, Your Honor.
Yo.
It's not that easy. You can't call it self-defense
That's
thing once
even-
you're like a trained professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Once a cop going through my wallet
I
and
got,
they
no
see
fights,
that
I got no fights under
and
me.
they see that
I got
card
no
in my
fights under
wallet,
me,
it's
bro.
a problem.
Oh, your hands registered? Yeah, he said
What?
for a long time.
They send you that registration card.
Yeah,
just
yo.
know that you better
That's
not
why
get caught with it on you.
Yeah, I don't want.
That's why I've never taken a fight.
Yeah, that's why I got. That's why I
Now you
got
know
it.
the
Why I
true
got.
meaning, Matt. Now you know the real meaning. What?
Snap a fucking shit. Oh,
Real-
dude.
How easy is a heel hook?
A heel
real
hook
quick.
is so
Right
easy.
there.
Oh, dude, I could listen. I teach you a move. I teach you a move that would destroy somebody in like that. All right.
Yeah.
Just you.
If you learn how to do
Okay,
a
we'll
proper
talk after the show.
Nah, I just gotta stop drinking and make sure I can do this shit. yo.
Listen, what me and him found is that through certain martial arts principles, through the martial arts principles, it makes you stop. It doesn't like you start to find you get humbled.
Yeah, you learn to protect yourself more
but
than.
it's the humbling experience that creates your character. You know, so you get humbled, and then you start realizing how dangerous you can actually be. All right, and then you go because no longer you're not proving yourself to nobody
Yeah.
because you know. Like you know,
It's
it's
the
like,
end, you can end anything at any
like,
moment.
like
Yeah.
I can see a dude that's like 280, right? Let's just say he's like 280, 300 pounds, and he's like jacked out his mind.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll kick your ass. I know
that you could.
that I got one move that would end his whole fucking life. And like but you know, so you're like,
don't go
so
looking
you-
for it.
Yeah,
You
so
don't-
you're more reluctant to be like, all right, man, don't
No.
worry
Yo,
about
you
it.
don't want this right
I'm
now.
like, I just.
It's not only
That's how
that. Another thing is especially when you're first beginning, and no matter how big you are, if you realize you can get ragdolled by someone half your size.
Yeah.
And
There's a lot of them boys out there.
and
There's a lot
my
of
thing
them
is
boys
like
out there now.
my thing is like
About to be
Like I'm more afraid of people smaller than me than bigger than me.
It's none of that nonsense. It's none of that shit.
No, I was trying to lock. I was doing locks. I was doing locks and
It's
bends and
literally
shit.
like, listen, hold on, dude. If I hit you with this one, or I grab you, your life is over.
Yeah,
What
that's
do
the
you
thing.
want me
Like I say, I'm more afraid of people who are smaller and quiet than me than people who are bigger and loud.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're loud, mouth. Let's do this.
Mhm.
I have fun with field day with you. Motherfuckers quiet over there, and all of a sudden say, all right, let's do something. I'm like, let me walk
the
away
guy
from
that's
you.
willing to step in front of me, I got concerned with that guy. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have to fight him for real.
Man.
But,
There was a video. I don't know if you ever seen it. That two guys end up fighting out on the street. Like one person goes for a double leg, gets sprawled on. The other person goes for a leg kick, does a shin check, and all of a sudden they start brawling it out.
I see some shit where is an Indian dude, mad skinny, so skinny, and there was some other dude, and he was just like holding the dude's arm. He was like, and just popped it.
That's in Brazil. The guy did the what was the omoplata?
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did the
Yeah.
omoplata. He laid on his leg and he grabbed his wrist and it just went, and you just see his wrist go clap. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
I was
it's
like,
never pretty when it happens.
Oh,
either.
no.
And especially when you're there, like especially when you're the one that do
What's
it.
word is the
it's never
sound.
pretty.
woo, that
Oh, the
shit.
sound is nasty.
Yo,
That
like-
big- like, wait
Nah,
a minute.
It's time to, oh man, I don't even know. But
Like
it sounds like you ever like try to rip the skin off a chicken, and you hear that
it's
shit pop.
kind of like that. You ever had a turkey?
Yeah,
You ever just pulled the turkey drum apart?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's how it sounds.
Oh my god,
It's just louder because it's a bigger
And
cartilage.
that's the thing. I see it.
Oh.
It's not like that's pulling out a joint.
Mhm.
That's not breaking bone marrow. You know what I mean? So that's basically what they.
Yeah.
Imagine breaking this shit in the bone. Like,
You want to see videos? I'll send you.
Nah,
I'll
I'm
send you
good.
videos,
I'm
bro.
maybe I should, bro. That's what
I mean, if you hanging out with people who want to
you
jump,
know the
because
vibes. You know the vibes.
you hanging out with people that want to jump you because you
Yeah,
helping
yo.
them. I think we need to put
You
you
know
in
what?
something. Yeah,
That's the thing. Yeah. That's why I'm back in the gym now. Like I was at a point in my
It'll
life where
help you.
I was drinking, I was smoking, I wasn't really taking care of myself to
Yeah.
that point. You know what I mean?
it help you with your. I'm telling you, it changes.
Yeah.
It changes things, man.
Definitely.
Changes your mind.
I asked him too. I was like, remember I asked you?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, well,
what's the prices
You know
over
what?
there?
You know what?
I got a spot.
I think we're gonna start this, Matt.
What?
The Real Shit Talkers Dojo.
Oh shit!
Move the table. Move the goddamn table.
the move of the week.
Yeah, you can do it. Like
You
honestly,
see Jack coming in like, nah, not this week.
This motherfucking off, dude.
I'm still hurt from last week.
You never told
Wait,
Matt
like-
you're hurt somewhere because I remember once I came in told me,
Oh
yo
my
Matt,
God.
not my shoulder.
Oh,
He was like, what?
He never.
That's all he does. That's all he does.
Listen, all right. You're taught to go after. Okay, this is
Okay.
during the time I was competing in
Mhm.
in the cage
Yeah,
a lot,
yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
So he like I don't know. It was instinctual. I apologized mad times, right?
No, all right,
And
say
I
this.
didn't hurt you. Like I didn't put you on the
He's like-
shelf. All right.
That's
You
what
see- I seen the
'cause
eye-
I had to
his
defend
eye watered
myself.
up.
Of course not. I'm like,
I
wait a
didn't-
minute.
I didn't want to, but of course I didn't really go for it. But like it was there.
Nah, I
and
ain't
seen
working out with
opportunity.
y'all niggas, yo. Nah, y'all the type of
nah,
niggas
nah.
be like, yo, put your hands up. I'm like, yeah, I'm thinking this. We doing walkthrough.
Pop.
Pop, yo, like,
Nah,
you gotta let me know something, bro.
Nah, it's good. It's good.
No,
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 We
if,
go-
we say
going-
if we say workout, yeah. If we say spar,
We going
and we just
90 or we going 10, 20? You're like,
we're good guys. We're good. Don't worry. We're-
nah, that's how my
there's-
trainer is. He was a boxer too. And he'd be like, yo, let me see your stance. I was like, all right. Like, I'm like, put my hands up. I'm like, nah, put your hands up. Like, all right. Like, boom, he just hit me. I'm like,
Yeah, some trainers they
you gotta let me know. You gotta let me know the block,
so-
bro.
I
I
don't
was
like
like,
that.
first
Some
of all-
trainers they be trying to prove too much. Like they still know.
Well,
something.
it's-
But
I'm
he's
not-
nasty though. He don't get me wrong.
No, I
He-
believe-
it's good and bad. It's good and bad. The only reason why it's good is if you've been training a little longer,
Yeah.
you've been doing it, and keep your instinct sharp
yeah.
right away.
Mhm.
Like I told you, there like 2 weeks ago for the Halloween when I went to Six Flags, and that like that jab came out of nowhere. I dodged it, hit my girl on the head. Right?
I don't know how you was able to allow that to happen, yo.
I was laughing
will-
way too much.
Yo, so did he tell the story?
Nah, I
tell the story real
I
quick.
definitely got that wrong.
So what happened was, all right, we're going through like cell block C or 6, whatever it was, haunted little spot in Six Flags.
yeah,
And there was somebody, like we were turning a corner, and there was somebody on this pillar little box, whatever.
yeah.
And like, they try to scare you. So I don't know if it was a hand, I don't know if it was a jab, I don't know what it looked like a goddamn jab to me. My first instinct was I dodged. I was like, all right, cool, I'm good.
Yeah.
And my girl right in the head. Pop. I was like, wait a minute.
I would have mounted homeboy
I was like-
and
Wait, he
laid,
hit your girl?
Yeah, just at the end of the hit, just at the end of the punch. So,
it was like
that grade, yeah.
It was like graze off.
Yeah, it was like that. But it was like I said, top of the head.
Nah,
like,
my wife would have looked at me and I'd have been already in full mount, just laying it down because I couldn't go home and look at her in the face.
Like, you let somebody hit me.
Not even that. First off, my girl trains too, or trained as well. So my girl's well trained enough to defend herself.
That's how I'd be.
So if she was slow on that, baby,
my whole
pick up your instincts.
My baby got road rage, yo. So she be talking crazy in the car. I'll be always ready to hop out. Like, what up, nigga? What up? I know the vibes, bro. I'll be ready. Like,
let her be, yo.
Let be, yeah.
She got a heavy foot, bro.
Honestly, you know, so weird. I started teaching my lady some kickboxing, right? And it calmed her down. I don't think she noticed it, but it calmed her down because she was so fucking crazy. Yeah, she was so crazy, yo. But when she started realizing, I could kick somebody's head off, she was kind of like, all right, you know what?
I'll be good.
Maybe I should chill.
When the time is right.
And, you know, but honestly, she still got that kind of like, we say white belt mentality, where kind of like, she's like, I still kind of wish a motherfucker would so I could put this in practice. I gotta be like, yo, chill. Like, you got it. She's like, but still.
But even for as long as we've done it, you sometimes wonder, like, does this work?
I go places where, you know what I mean, sometimes niggas get to practice.
like you were able to find out if rear niggas choke work properly and put somebody to sleep at a Walmart. I
mean, he looked tired. I just thought he might have been a little bit tired or whatever, man. What time is it? We're good. We're good, man. Don't worry about it.
12:52.
We're good.
So you see, like, there's sometimes some things that you want to put into work.
But all you're saying is that if you do, you come to train. I ain't worried about it.
You know what I mean, bro. I'm trying.
Yeah, you got this,
I'm recovered now. My leg healed.
And it's so funny because you're around good people.
Yeah, that's
these are like you know how you're sitting here and you're talking to us. You literally have good people around you,
like genuine energy that understand ups and downs.
All that masculine energy and all that stuff and all that everything that flows and all that aggression is out, and you kind of you could just be civil with each other.
You said once 3 weeks ago.
That was just being an asshole.
That was funny as hell.
Because even that is over. Like, it wasn't even a big deal that day. It was just like, he just kind of, it was, you know, a couple guys that was going hard on each other. And then he was just like, another dude looked at the other dude like, that was over as soon as it started. It was just like,
hey, bro,
it was even dumb.
When you're in a room full of alpha, someone has to become the beta.
Don't have me in there. I'm being on some fucking.
You think so? Until someone,
until
somebody laying on top of your chest, and you're like,
once again, when someone's half your size and throwing you around, you're like,
I'd be like, this shit is bad for you. Jackie Chan.
Getting real quick, going back into like the music world. I see a lot of flashy people. You know? How important is it to be for their appearance when it comes down to?
It's real important, yo. Honestly, like, I feel like that's the way you dress. The way shit is dressed up sells more than the music, yo. Honestly, all that shit sells way more than the music. Like, you got, you know.
So you have to be that way. Like, do you have to be kind of.
I mean,
like
I can't say that. All right, perfect example where we're at in New York City, New Jersey, this tri-state area, without a doubt. You know what I mean? Richest county on the East Coast. You know, it's like Hollywood on the East Coast right here. So like, it's a lot of big play on that. A lot of people are so materialistic about things. Oh, he got Gucci shoes on, Louis Vuitton bag. Oh, he's definitely getting a bag. Oh, he's definitely a rapper. You know what I mean?
I could never be part of the game.
This is the way
I don't be giving a fuck.
But
sometimes,
it's with anywhere though. Like, look at even with Eminem. Eminem, they're saying like, you wear sweatpants, dog. Like, you know. Like, so what? You wear sweatpants.
I think you have to get on to a certain way, right? Like, certain way you have to look. Then when you get to a certain level, you could go back to being kind of like.
That's what the whole main saying growing up is fake it till you make it. Yeah, think about it. All these billionaires that you hear of, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, or any of these types, they all wore maybe $100 worth of clothing on them at all times. It was no more.
All right, think about the top
remember,
5
underwear, shirt, pants, socks, shoes, all of that equals to about $100.
Let's say the top 3 artists out of New York right now.
Okay, I can see what you're saying.
The top 3 artists out of New York right now, I would sit here and say like the most recent of is Casanova. Who's that? Don Q and Tekashi 6ix9ine. Now, what do these 3 people do every week on Instagram? But what do they pull out a bag full of money, and it's like it's always got to be on you. They always got to have a stack, and they compete with each other. Oh, your bag is not big as mine. It's like realistically, and then Takashi will tell you, like, you know what I mean? I know when people are mad that I'm on a billboard and I don't really put any craft into what I'm doing. I'm just saying whatever, and it must make y'all mad that I just be trolling. I be playing around and I'm making money, and it's like we allow that. We see Tekashi. We hear what he's talking about, and we still are fans of it. We still buy it. That's like buying fake chicken. You know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna get hated for this, bro.
It's like buying vegan meat. Like
this is where I'm gonna get hated for. This is the WWE effect.
Okay, what you saying?
It's like, think about it. Ric Flair was always basically a pimp code.
Hell yeah.
Right? All of that now is just you have to be flashy at during that
flamboyant stages.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple artists like Denzel. I think his name is Denzel Curry. I just recently heard of him. I don't even know where he's from, but he's very lyrical. You know, like he spits like of different shit. Like he had a song called Kurt Cobain. Like
I heard that song.
That shit, and I was like, yo, that's tough. You know what I mean? Like
I didn't know his name though.
Yeah, I think it's Denzel Curry or something like that, something like that. But I don't listen to too much music. Like that's probably the only song because I oversaturate with somebody's sound. I get too influenced by them.
Right.
Yeah, so like I'll probably bump like 2 songs off or something. Like I listen to Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle's fucking a fucking gangster. Like he's straight OG. Like and people on the East Coast they don't really bump Nipsey like that until you start to conform to a different sound. But you know what I mean? On the West Coast. It's just a different vibes. There's different vibes everywhere. Even down south in Florida, you know what I mean? But all in all, it's just all about the flash, the fancy cars, which it's always been about, you know?
Wait, you know what I think affected that a lot too? World Star. Think about it. Like World Star
like
Jay-Z. In the beginning of it.
With Money Cash Hoes. After that, you know, when the 5% chains, all that stuff, you gotta look at Slick Rick was doing it. Like, but that was the culture of New York, you know what I mean? They got like all these pimps, Big Daddy Kane, all of them had that, but it's like, it wasn't excessive to the point where like, oh, look at my jewelry collection. You know what I mean? They got like, if a person had 8 chains back in the day, they wore all 8 chains. You get what I'm saying? Like, now people just be like, I'm gonna wear this chain today. I'm gonna wear that chain today. I'm gonna wear this chain today. It's just like, and they show it off all the time. The world is at our fingertips to compete. And that's why people are so depressed, because it's like, damn, yo, I don't got this money. I don't got that.
They're trying to compete with
like people who
with fake, like with people who never
that's
really
what
had it.
I got. That's what my problem is. I got to compete with Instagram dads, you know, like YouTube fathers and shit like that. Like, oh, you didn't get me no Porsche. Like, what? I had to fucking call 4 Ubers to get to the studio. You couldn't even give me a ride to the studio.
Right.
You want me to buy you a whole Porsche? Like, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, is like you got to be with somebody that accepts you. You know, you got to have a following. You want an audience that, you know, you can always choose your audience, even if it's just one person. You know what I mean? You could rap to homeless people. You can make homeless music. You know, at the end of the day, you could be in the industry and not be about that. You know, that portray that shit. You know, and that's something I always want. I always try to remember, like. I can go mainstream. I can make a song. Yo, twerk. I met this other dude, man, humble. The first song he played for me was a twerk song. He was like, "Yeah, you know this for the strip club," and I'm like, "I've never been to a strip club. Like, never been to. I've been outside a strip club.
You've never been in a strip club?
I mean, I have been in a strip club recently.
I'm about to say
recently, and it was recent when I had my cast on too.
Okay,
I had my cast on. I'm in a strip club. They brought me. They forced me. I didn't want to go.
That's good though.
That's
when usually the strippers come walking up to you.
Yeah, they came up. She sat on my lap. She goes, "Oh my God, can I sit here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's cool."
If you feel something hard, it's just my cast.
And I was like, "Nah."
That right there.
I was like, "Nah." I was like, "Nah." I made her get up because I started thinking about my daughters on the way. I started thinking about massive shit.
Yo, daughters. Fuck you up, yo.
Yo, I was like, yo.
Stop for this guy. You don't care.
I'm straight up with the Kanye mentality for that. I still watch porn.
Oh, yeah. I never said I stopped. I just don't watch certain genres. That's it. Those teen genres. I don't be messing with that. They look too young for me. You know what I mean? I go ahead and go to MILFs.
Bitches be like
I just avoid Spanish.
The bitches be like 3'9", yo. The bitches be like 3'9", yo. On
what up? So.
Oh, Riley Reid, bro? She's tiny.
She tiny as fuck,
right?
bro.
Oh, both of you already knew who I meant.
Hell yeah,
that.
bro.
I ain't gonna front.
you know the vibes.
Yeah, you know. Riley Reid's the exception. Yo, you got anything on you right now?
Oh, it's music?
Yeah.
I got some shit. Hell yeah.
Press that into the mic. Let's get at least like a good 20 seconds or something, 30 seconds of it. A minute. You know, let people hear something. I don't know. You know, so we can end this show properly.
All right.
But besides that, hey guys.
Yeah, I need workout partners.
So now
you
can also support the Shit Talkers. We do donations now. We're gonna start doing merch soon. You could contact. I think Marv put it in a way, the voice of God in the background.
There's a link in the description of the video to
Yes, there's a
donate.
There's a link in the description of the video. That's the voice of God. There's a link in the description of the video. So you could contact, if you want to support, it actually helps us out. We could continue doing this more, probably bring out more episodes. Also, don't forget about the audio platform. You could, the audio platform where we have, we're pushing episodes out. Hopefully I could get that one with Black Kryptonite out tonight. Jesus Christ. That, you know, we got shut off halfway into the conversation. A whole week of nothing. But we're going to try to get that one done. And yeah, thanks for watching. And we're going to play us a little something. And then we're going to rock out and, you know, and get up out of here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones, man. I'm trying to shoot a video for this. You guys are definitely more welcome.
President to the mic for me, man. I already like how that sounds.
Oh, yeah.
Sound like one of my Lofi tracks.
Tell the bartender pour another bottle. Passing weed, yeah, we smoking on gelato. All in like we're trying to hit the lotto. Fancy, yeah, she looking like a model. Tell the bartender pour another bottle. Passing weed, yeah, we smoking on gelato. All in like we're trying to hit the lotto.
Let that keep bumping. Let that keep bumping. Hey guys, if you want to share your story or anything, contact the Real Shit Talkers, y'all. We got like 20 seconds, Marv. We got a couple more seconds.
You gotta be mine, can't let nobody borrow. I'ma hold it down, be someone that you can call on. And when I'm not around, I'll be right back, baby, just hold on. Let's take a photo, here go throw on my fedora. Cause I love your aura, you so gorgeous, baby, what up? I ain't got no time for these woulda, coulda, shoulda. You all on my mind, I need you here, you got me fucked up. I ain't even drunk, love, it's still lit, just pull up, girl. Tell the bartender pour another bottle. Passing weed, yeah, we smoking on gelato. All in like we trying to hit the
Rock us out, Marv.
Got you.